Probably
Well,
so. No telling what's in there.
them barbers, man, they be doing like some real good. They be doing the Lord's work on them dudes' heads, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they be doing the Lord's work.
I got a dumb Negro moment just now.
What happened?
I'm tapping my Mac. I was tapping my Mac screen as if it was touch screen because I got my iPad right next to me, right? Like I was tapping my Mac because the live stream thing came up and I'm hitting the got it. I'm pointing at the got it. It's my Mac screen. Yo, I'm bugging out right now. All right, I'm ready now.
Dude, you crazy, man. Hey, this is what we do on the show and stuff. And we live right now, too, just talking about hairlines and stuff like that. That's what they'll do. That's what they be doing on those podcasts, those code opens and stuff. All right, let's get into it. What up, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It 9450, Codename WBB. I'm Daniel Artest. You know, as usual, we got the gang in the building, man. You know, K-Dot, Lolo. What's good? What's good? Lauren, what's up? How you doing?
What's happening? It's good to be back with my two podcast brothers. We got the mid-season awards today. K-Dot, how you feeling?
Hey, yo, what up? What it is? What's popping? It has been a while, and I missed you guys so very much. First things first, before we get started, I want to shout you out, Lolo, because you've been doing your thing with Courtside Access, with Lauren. Like, I'm just proud of everything that you've done, so far for not only the network, but, just for yourself. So I want to give you your flowers right now. So love it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, facts, yo. You know, Lauren is in her bag doing her thing and stuff. And, actually, like the whole network is everybody in their bag on the network right now. So like, I'm always editing the show all the time, man. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
fact. Shout out to the family for real. Shout out to the family for real. 21 titles, Corey, Ray, what I'm saying? Nate, like shout out to the family for real. Like shout out to all of you.
Yeah, facts, man. You know what, man? Like when we was talking about it all weekend and stuff, we finally understood what FOMO meant. You know what I'm saying? Wishing that we was out there in Las Vegas for All-Star Weekend. But, from what I seen, it looked like it was fun. But, from a logistical standpoint, for everybody out there trying to get back to the East Coast, they had a nightmare. Some people got stuck out there as well. Some people still out there right now, you know what I mean? So hopefully they get home safe and stuff. But like we talked about it, listen, when we go to Phoenix next year, you know what I'm saying? We got to get out there a day early. We got to leave a day late. You know what I'm saying? Poolside at the beach and sipping Mai Tais and getting right before we head back on the flight back East Coast, man. But, we here to talk about the mid-season awards. Obviously, we're going to talk about the top contenders. Well, actually, not the top contenders, but who we think, got these awards down pat. Last year, K-Dot, when we did our mid-seasons awards, it was more cut and dry that it was Asia Wilson for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I remember I announced it in June on a tweet. I got blasted for it, but then I was like the clairvoyant because it came to fruition and everything. And I guess we could start from the bottom and go all the way up to the top. And we will start with Coach of the Year, which is Becky Hammond, obviously, right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it was funny because the preseason, they were saying like Sandy Brundello or whatever, but nah, I think that Becky Hammond got this locked. I don't know how many coaches in the WNBA won consecutive Coach of the Year awards in the WNBA, you know what I mean? But that'll put her is a rarity in women's basketball right now. So, what Becky Hammond is doing with her aces and stuff, and the coaching job that she's doing it has been amazing. This team got the best record in the league. She has this starting five, which is a star-studded starting five. Everybody playing together, the way she can manage those egos and everything. So, you got to give a lot of credit to what Coach Hammond is doing. Go ahead, Lo.
I mean, I agree. I think you hit the nail on the head. To get 5 former first-round picks or, just players that all have made the All-Star team before and get them to buy into the system and get them to, give up a little bit of their game for the greater good of the whole team. That takes a talented person to do it. And Becky has done a hell of a job with them. They've only lost 2 games all season. One was definitely iffy, but a loss is a loss. So I think she's doing really, really well managing just them in general. K-Dot, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And this comes to a point where, you got to take out kind of like the quote unquote voters fatigue. It's cut and dry to me that Becky Hammon is going to be the back-to-back coach of the year. I really, like other candidates, like Latricia Trammell, she has done an amazing job for Dallas so far. They've been riding a incredible wave, and they actually did beat the number 1 team in the WNBA in a really great battle. But you cannot deny the genius and the poise of Becky Hammon and her entire staff. They have done such a great job with this Aces team in making sure that they have not only the best record in the WNBA right now, but they're hands down the favorite and by far one of, if not the most dominant team that you see in the WNBA right now. And they are the most dominant team in the WNBA right now. So you got to give credit where credit is due. And Becky Hammon is definitely, in my book, coach of the year so far as, the midseason gets started.
Yeah, as they would say in the rap song, she's running off with the plug, not once, but twice. All right, let's move on up.
Real quick, I just wanted to chime in.
Go ahead.
Chancellor, I did a Google while you were talking. Van Chancellor, he won in 97, 98, and 99. So 3 times back to back.
Shout out to the comments. Shout out to the comments.
Yeah. So sure. If they now, man, all right, Lo. All right, because now I want to know who won. Because if they won 4 years in a row and Van Chancellor got 3 years, coach of the year 3 years in a row, who's the other coach?
Michael Cooper, 2000.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You brought it back. You brought it back. Yep.
Let's go.
Michael Cooper for the Sparks was just amazing. See, no, we got a show to do because I'll get back. I'll get my nostalgia bag. We got a show to do.
No, definitely. All right, let's move on to most improved player. I think that we all know who most improved player is right now, man. She's having a career best season. We see the improvement for her game as well. She's consistent, she's healthy, and those are the factors that are, that's essential to her succeeding this season as well. Increase, numbers in multiple categories: scoring, rebounding, assists, and also her positive impact on the team too as well. And that's Satou Sabally from the Dallas Wings, man. It's like, what more can you say? Like, she's having an amazing season. She was on the MVP shortlist for a second, but obviously she regressed a little bit. And also with the team losing some games. But Satou has been like we say, like, she's been in her bag, in her Birkin, and is working. Go ahead, Kate. What you thinking?
Yeah, Satou has been incredible. And, right now, according to Cerebro Sports, and shout out to the crew, the Cerebro crew, she's sitting at a CRAM at an 8.7, and that's a silver ranking. And when you look at that, averaging 17.6 points per game, 9.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, you can see just the way that she's been playing. You could actually see that in prior seasons, but unfortunately the injury bug hit her, and it's just grateful for us to see that she's been very healthy this year. She's an all-star this year as well. And it's, kind of, again, cut and dry from a most improved standpoint that Satou is definitely the most improved player of the year so far coming into the midseason. So I think that Satou has done an incredible job. And again, she's making an incredible impact for the Dallas Wings as well. And they're having an incredible season. So what about you, Lo?
I mean, I agree. Just kind of echoing everything you guys said. Like you said, she nearly increased or like doubled in every statistical category. She's just flat out a difference maker for that team. She's shown her full bag. Like, I didn't even know she really had a midi. But she's showing everything. She's going to the rack, she's hitting the midi, she's defending. She's had standout games when she's been mentioned with greats. Like, I read a stat that says she's the sixth player in WNBA history to finish a game with 25 plus points, 2 3-pointers made, 15 plus rebounds, and 4 plus assists. So she's literally putting her name amongst some of the greatest players to play in the league with just different statistical categories. So she's having a great season, and she's clicking on all cylinders at the right time for this team.
And just to add on to that, before DA goes, so her archetype matches, right? She's the connector, and it makes perfect sense for this team, right? And the way that she kind of moves and shifts defenses, it definitely makes tons of sense, as that nickname, the connector, springs about, because, once the gravity, as we always talk about in basketball, the gravity of defensive kind of moved to her, she's always able to make certain plays and, get other players in position to score the basketball. And also defensively, she has done a great job in showing some defensive prowess. And I'm just extremely excited to see Satu play this year. What about you, DA?
Yeah. Like I said, she improved all across the board. It's like, what more can you say? I want to know, all right, if I have a question, like, can she sustain it? I think that she can. I really do. And also, before we move on to the next one, and since we're on YouTube Live right now, shout out to Kenzie Nichols, man. I'm saying? Kenzie Nichols in the building, always showing us love. So thank you for tapping in with us. Kate, you know who Kenzie is. Lauren's new. So, you already know what it is, but Lauren will get to know Kenzie and stuff. I'll say lifelong supporter of our show and stuff like that. But let's move on.
That's a fact.
Let's move on to 6 Women of the Year. And this is by far the hardest award because it's not that many candidates. But we talked about it before we press record on this. And we're going to rock with Dejanay Carrington, and you know what? Like, she definitely gets it popping off the bench, man. She's scoring, she's doing her thing, and filling in the role too with, key players being out. Obviously, we know Breanna Jones is out for the rest of the season and stuff like that. And, we see Dejanay from, it's funny because you can actually put her on the short list for most improved player too as well, because we've seen her from when she first came in KDOT to right now, when she went to Athletes Unlimited that first year, you know what I'm saying? And did her work, and like how much she improved, and like she made herself into a WNBA player, man. She really did. So that's why I have her for 6 Women of the Award. 6 Women of the Year award. I wish more 6 women would step up, but I don't know, man. Lo, what you got? What you thinking?
I agree. She's been playing well. Simply put, she's been playing well. She's averaging 8.9 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. Now, the numbers don't necessarily like jump off the page or not really in your face. However, if you actually watch the games and watch her play, you'll see the immediate impact she makes as soon as she gets into the game. She just plays with a sense of confidence and swag that appears to be contagious for the whole team. Like, when she comes in, she's getting in a defensive stance. She's a pest on defense. She can step back and hit the 3. So I think since Breanna Jones' injury, like you said, DA, she's definitely stepped up. In the last 5 games, she scored one game 11 points, 9 points, 12 points, 23 and 17 points off the bench. So in some of these games, she also grabbed 6 to 7 boards, which is good for a guard. So her shooting numbers have improved, especially from 3-point. And if you look at the actual numbers, so in regards to the 3-point percentage, she's shooting 38.9% when compared to 30.6% last year. And even more mind-blowing to me is in 2021, she was only shooting 14.3% from the 3-point line. So you can see that she's been locked into the gym and truly, working on her shot, working on her game. So for me, it's no question at this point in the season that she is the 6th Woman of the Year. K-Dot?
I definitely agree. And one thing that separates DiJonai this year than years prior is that she's finishing at the rim. That's the most important thing that stuck out to me, especially when she first got into the league and then last year and then coming into this year. She's definitely improved on her finishing. I like the fact that DiJonai Carrington does exactly what you guys have mentioned. She comes in, she does her job, she goes out. She comes back in, she does her job, she goes out. And that's the most important thing, especially when you're the first person, one of the first people coming off the bench. The production changes. You're the person who changes the trajectory of the game and how the game flow, whether it's a good flow, whether it's a great flow, whether it's a bad flow. It's your job to either keep that flow going or improve the flow of the game, no matter how it goes. And I think that DiJonai Carrington has stepped up a lot, especially with the trust in Stephanie White bringing her in a little bit more compared to what we've seen in prior years. So definitely, I do agree that DiJonai Carrington is in that realm of Sixth Woman of the Year. We do have other candidates that are involved. We did mention Alicia Clark and Dana Evans, but looking from a consistency standpoint, they've been a little inconsistent, if you will. Now, watching the games, you may not think so. However, if you just look at the up and down of each game, you would see that, and that could very well change at the start of this midseason and coming into the playoffs. But those are the three candidates that we have so far. And, I think DiJonai Carrington right now is at the top.
And another thing, and I'm gonna take it back to Baylor. She got fouled, K-Dot, okay?
Yeah, she got fouled.
She got fouled. I don't
care
what
that
back
up. We bringing that back up. She got fouled.
Every time. Every time we talk about
the hand was on the wrist and not on the ball.
Come on, man. She got fouled right there, man. They cost Baylor, man, that game right there. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against UConn or whatever, but come on, man. That was a blatant foul. That's all I got to add to the conversation.
UConn going UConn.
Come on, man. They're the machine, man. You know what I mean? They're the machine. So it's like, you can't really hate on UConn. They dope. But it was a foul. All right, let's move on to Rookie of the Year. We already know who it is. Diamond Miller, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. No, I'm just playing. Obviously, we know that it's Aaliyah Boston from the Indiana Fever, man. Listen, like, cut and dry, right? She's points, rebounds, shooting efficiency. Her rookie year, you can compare it with the other greats. She's up there with them. All-star starter as a rookie since Shoni Schimmel. Oh my goodness, Shoni Schimmel. Wow, that was a name right there. What's funny, and I know we'll get to Aaliyah though, but Shoni Schimmel was her. And prayers to her. Hopefully she could get her life back on track, man, because she was just so dope. Yeah, I remember Ron brought so many Shoni Schimmel jerseys, yo. Like, this dude, Ron, loves Shoni Schimmel, and she just came out of nowhere. Didn't she win All-Star Game MVP too, as well? Oh my goodness, man. But back to Aaliyah, like what Aaliyah has been doing, man. And shout out to the post players. We united, man. I just love the work that she's been putting in. I love the footwork. I love the scoring ability. I love how she's making these elite post players look small. We seen her, listen, she has, when they played against the Liberty, she has Stewie in hell. We seen her body up Asia Wilson as well. We seen her made Breanna Jones look like a kid out there, like what Aaliyah has done so far this season. And it's like every game she got better. Remember, she was like, her first game was first game jitters, but once she realized like, hey, they can't guard me, it's over, and it's funny because, like, me and K-Dot, we talked about this last year. I didn't think that Asia Wilson would be a 20-point per game scorer in a W. I think that once the Indiana Fever get whatever they got to get together, they got to bring in the right guard. Obviously, Grace Berger, very good. Grace Berger's going to have a long career because she know how to make a post-entry pass. But once they get an actual, like, point guard in there, and once they get, a little bit more maturity on that roster as well, like, man, it's going to be on. Go ahead, Lo. What you got?
I mean, I agree. I just want to give you your flowers because you were the first one to say that she's the best back to the basket post that we have in the WNBA. And she's clearly showing that. Like, she's just been in her bag. Like, I mean, it's really nothing negative you can say about Aaliyah Boston. She puts her hard hat on and does her job every game. She's averaging 15.4 points per game, 8.4 rebounds per game. And she's still leading the league in field goal percentage at 61%. And she's been literally holding that down for majority of the year, if not all of the year. Just as we mentioned before, Aaliyah Boston, she just has it all. Incredible footwork, great touch around the basket. She can finish around the basket. She'll body you up and defend you, but she also just seems to always be in the right position, whether it's to rebound the ball, whether it's to, catch a post entry pass when they actually don't look her off and pass her the ball properly. She just has it all. And I'm just excited to see her continue to get better. Again, I was like you guys, I was unsure of how her game would translate to the league, but she sure shut me up quickly. This is going to be her league at one point in time before it's all said and done. Okay, that.
So shout out to Cerebro, man, because from a stat standpoint, right? She is the 7th best player in the league. The 7th best player, and she's a rookie. She is the 7th best player in the league. 0.1 points, basis points away from being the gold standard. She sits at a CRAM of 9.9. And once you get to a 10, that means you're the gold standard of the league. That means you're one of the best. There's only 6 players in front of her from a statistical standpoint that is, quote unquote, the best of the best. Those names are Breanna Stewart, Asia Wilson, Alyssa Thomas, Jackie Young, Nneka Ogwumike, and Nafisa Collier. That is elite company that we're talking about right now. And she is 7 as a rookie. And that's just incredible. And again, that conversation that we had back in, I would say, March or February, that was definitely not to say that, Aaliyah wasn't going to be the best, player that Aaliyah Boston could be. It was just that because of how we saw the college game work in her favor at times, and then against her favor at times, we were like, well, geez, like how will she look in the WNBA? That was the question. How will she look in the WNBA? And the answer is dominant. Point blank, simple. Arguably the best back to the basket big that we've seen in recent memory. And she is definitely someone who has the charisma and has the it to be the face of the league. And I am just so happy to see her in the element that she is in the league, because we couldn't wait to see her in the league. Now she's here and she's showing everybody that she indeed is the reason why they had to quintuple and quadruple and triple and double team her in college, because they're doing the same thing in the WNBA. That's respect. And that's respect to Aaliyah Boston.
And
as a rookie, it's crazy though.
I just want to chime in and say this has nothing to do with basketball, but she just seems like a great kid too, like a great person. She's very humble. When I was watching a couple of interviews where they were asking her about, how does she feel about being a starter for the All-Star game, and she just seems like just so down to earth and a humble kid that just wants to continue to get better. So shout out to her. Sky is literally the limit for her.
You got it. When you have a praying mother and when you have grace and favor behind you,
Hey, listen, won't he do it?
Won't he will.
Hey, that with the Pastor Dot in the building. But you're right though, man. Shout out to Aaliyah Boston. Come from a very beautiful family. And you can just see it. You can see the work ethic. You know how when your parents have that work ethic and you can just see how it instills in the kids and stuff. You just see it, how much she improves and stuff. And, she's taking the jumper now and everything. Like, man, the sky is the limit for. No, actually, the sky is not the limit. That's like an offensive thing to say about Aaliyah Boston by saying the sky is the limit for her, to be honest. Like, she can go to a different stratosphere with her game as the season goes on. She's special. And And I was talking about this with Lauren earlier. We was on the phone. We was talking about it because there's only a couple of teams with facilities where players could actually stay and have a locker space. I feel like Indiana is going to be one of them teams that players is going to go to because of that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got somebody like Aaliyah Boston, an anchor like that, players want to play with players like that. And how many games did Indiana lose that were very close? They could easily have a winning record right now. They just got to get maybe a piece or two to make it happen. I kind of wish they really would tank the season away, to be honest, so they can get one of those nice guards that's coming in, but they're on the right path of stuff. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year. So with that being said, we're going to stay in South Carolina because Defensive Player of the Year for the second year in a row looks like it's going to go to A'ja Wilson from the Las Vegas Aces. She's leading the league in blocks and defensive win shares as well. Her versatility to guard on switches and then be a rim protector, she's just the anchor of the best defensive team in the league right now. So it's like, pretty much this should be called the cut and dry awards because pretty much cut and dry that A'ja Wilson's head and shoulders the best defender in the W right now. And that's why she is our leader at the mid-season point for Defensive Player of the Year, which I wish Brittany Sykes was up there with her too. Hopefully, the second half of the season, B Sykes can really show like what she can do on that defensive end as well and stuff. Lo, what's going on? Take it away. What you got?
Just basically echoing everything you said. First in blocks per game with 2.1. She's fifth in rebounds per game, 9.3. And just to kind of steal what K-Dot said last time when we did the awards, basically her defensive presence is just loud. Like when she is making a block or a stop, like you just notice it, like she jumps out the screen. She's just everywhere on the floor and like you said, able to switch and also just there to make up for other people's defensive woes. If the guard passes, the guard that's defending them, she's always there for help defense. So to me it's a no-brainer. A'ja Wilson. Yep.
A'ja Wilson. Back to back.
Yeah.
Player of the Year. Listen, defensive statistical impact. She's leading the league. Defensive statistical impact. Everybody always talk about how well A'ja is from a footwork standpoint, and she's just increased that from a defensive standpoint. And again, we talked about it, right? How loud she is on defense, right? It's amazing. It doesn't matter who gets beat off the dribble. It's a lower percent chance that you're going to make the layup with A'ja Wilson at the back line. It really is. It truly is. And she has done such an incredible job on help side defense. She has done an incredible job on switching. She has great switchability. And her length and her quickness. She has very, very underrated quickness to her feet. And that's what kind of separates, in my opinion, from the other good defenders that we have in this league. But A'ja Wilson is hands down, I think, in my opinion, Defensive Player of the Year, and she will be back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I don't see anything, to debate about with that, is going to go to A'ja Wilson for Defensive Player of the Year. All right, so let's talk about it. MVP. This one is tough for me because I want to go with A'ja Wilson for MVP, right? I really do. Best player on the best team right now. You know what I'm saying? We know what they're doing. We see it. You know what I'm saying? K-Dot pointed out what A'ja's doing defensively and everything. But I think that with the play of Breanna Stewart and also the play of Jackie Young, which is going to take some votes away from A'ja Wilson, you kind of got to go with Breanna Stewart on this award as well, man. Listen, she's having a career year, career high in points, rebounds, assists. Her shooting percentages is crazy. You know, she's almost at 50, 40, 90. You know, like, and she got the Liberty in a great place. And think about it. And we said it before we pressed play. You know, what would the Liberty record be if Stewie wasn't on this roster right now? You know what I mean? Let's just say you got everybody else. You know, John Cord Jones is there too, but no Breanna Stewart. Like, how would this Liberty fare? You know, they wouldn't be 14-4. I'll tell you that much. And another reason why I kind of got to lean towards Stewie for MVP is because Stewie is in the top 15 of all 5 major categories, right? So let's talk about it. Points per game, Stewie's second, Asia's 6th. Rebounds, Stewie's first, Asia's 5th. Assists, Stewie's 14th, Asia's 39th. Steals, Stewie's 5th, Asia's 23rd. Blocks, Asia's first, Stewie's 6th. You know? So, I mean, it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? So, but, man, like, it's just like, do I go with the winning or do I go with the player that's having a better individual season? And, you know, like, I'm going to go with the player that's having a better individual season. I'm going to go with Stewie on this one. Y'all might disagree. I don't know. K-Dot, you got the floor. Is yours. Go ahead.
So this what brings on the definition of most valuable, right? I tweeted out something earlier that kind of differentiates between overrated and overvalued, right? Even though that tweet may not have anything to do, or it could correlate to the MVP conversation that we're having right now. I just think that the most valuable player to said team is Breanna Stewart and the New York Liberty with these reasons. Just like you said, you take Breanna Stewart off of the New York Liberty, they're not 14-4. Let's just keep it real. I do believe that if A'ja Wilson wasn't on the team per se, I still think that the Las Vegas Aces would fare better of a record than the New York Liberty would. Me personally, because of the continuity, because of the veteran leadership that they have, and the players that they have in a Chelsea Gray, in a Candace Parker, in an Alicia Clark, Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, so on and so forth. They're just incredible as a team. Their continuity is impeccable as a team. I don't see the same thing with the New York Liberty. Just like how Alyssa Thomas is the engine for the Connecticut Sun, Breanna Stewart is quintessential that same realm. And when you take an engine out of a vehicle, the vehicle does not run. And Breanna Stewart has done an amazing job in being that that leader, have, you know, set an example as it impacts to winning. And that's what most valuable is. When you're the most valuable player of your team, you impact winning. And she has been in every game possible, maybe except for the very first game, just about in every game possible, put her team in a position to win the game. Her and her only. I truly believe that's what defines most valuable. And just like you said, again, when you have a great team in the Las Vegas Aces, you do have 2 players right now on that team that are having incredible seasons, Jackie Young and A'ja Wilson. That really is going to cancel each other out from a voting standpoint. And at the end of it, when you look at the records, obviously, I believe that the Las Vegas Aces is like just clear cut up top, but right behind them will be the New York Liberty, and the only reason it will be the New York Liberty is because of Breanna Stewart. What about you, Lauren?
Can I interject on something real quick? I'm so sorry, Lauren.
No, go ahead.
The villain in me. I feel like Jackie Young needs to get her just due, right? I really do.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not going to happen on Las Vegas. Jackie Young, listen, come to Indiana. You're from Princeton anyway. You're a Hoosier. You know what I'm saying? I've been in Indianapolis for 13 years, so I'm kind of like a Hoosier too. So love to see you
Look
in
at this
Las
man
Vegas.
trying to poach. Listen
I
to
would
him
love.
trying to poach. He trying to poach.
Listen, let's be honest real
He done
quick.
came close to the camera too.
Yeah, let's bring the camera close, man. Bring the camera close. Listen, let's be honest about Jackie Young real quick. You know, she can hold her own team down. Like, you put her and Claire Copper on the same team in Chicago would be crazy. You throw Jackie Young anywhere, it's going to be crazy. She's a star, and it's going to when her career is said and done, yeah, she's going to have the rings and everything, man. But oh man, she's like the women's version of Manu Ginobili, but she's starting, but she's also sacrificing so much, you know what I mean, for the betterment of the team. And she don't get the flowers that she needs to get. So I'm like, yeah, you know, come on down. You know what I'm saying? Come on to Indianapolis real quick. Let's get it.
I'll do you one better.
What's up?
I'll throw it back to the women's side. Deanna Nolan.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Deanna Nolan literally took a step back, knowing that she could have went to another team.
Yeah. Yes.
And wreak havoc.
Yes.
And decided to take that step back, and she got 3 rings, you know, as a result of it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it, you know, and you know, ring culture in basketball is all crazy right now and everything.
Right.
Man, I would just love to see Jackie Young in one of those roles where it's like she's getting it in. Like 40, what is she? 48% from 3 is crazy. You know what I'm saying? She's bananas. But let's not go. You know how we go. We'll go on a tangent.
But let me just do one more thing, and then Lauren.
There you go.
Imagine a team with Skylar Diggins, Jackie Young, Aaliyah Boston.
3 Hoosiers.
Think about that big 3.
Incredible.
3 Hoosiers.
About that big 3.
Yes. 3 Hoosiers. Yo, come on, ladies, make it happen. Skylar, listen. You know what I'm saying? We love you. Listen, I have no issues with Skylar. You know, you hit me with the, you know what I'm saying? You know, you block K-Dot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we love you, all right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we peoples and everything. But it would be nice to see you in the Hoosiers, man. Come on home.
Listen, those games would be insane.
Yeah,
like,
come on
sold
home.
out all the time. Like,
please.
Yeah, that would be insane.
All right, go ahead. What's your thoughts on MVP?
Look, now I forgot, but I mean, honestly, you guys really said it all. For me, it came down between A'ja Wilson and Stewie. And when I really sat and thought about it, the main difference is pretty much what you guys said. In a hypothetical situation, if, you know, A'ja Wilson had to take an extended time off or some time away from the game, her team would still be successful in their own right. I can't say the same confidently for New York. For me, the biggest thing that sticks out, and we're going to have a conversation about this eventually, New York keeps blowing leads, like double digits leads. So I bring that up to say that in the cases where they have blown leads, I literally have watched Breanna, Stewie literally single-handedly will them to winning. And although most times the MVP in the WNBA is on the best team, I just have to give it to Stewie because you take her away from that team and they're not sitting at number 2. They're not even close to number 2. So because you have people that disappear, Jonquel Jones, we already said enough on her, so I'm not going to even go there again. Sabrina has been playing better, especially as of late, but in some games where she's kind of quiet too. Courtney Vandersloot is, I guess, still trying to get into her groove. So the only person that's reliable literally every night is Stewie. So I feel like she's having a career year. She's reliable. When you simply take her off the team, they're not where they are. So she's definitely my MVP. And I also, just like you said, wanted to give Jackie Young a shout out. She was my MVP in the beginning of the season. And she's still, of course, playing at an MVP level. It's just, I guess, levels to it when you have other great players that make up your team. So, yeah.
No lyrics? No lyrics to any of
Not
this?
tonight, man.
Wow. Okay, that man.
I was waiting for it.
I wasn't. Look, y'all done got me off of my game. I probably had something ready, but y'all started talking about Jackie, and then we recruiting Skylar to come to Indiana. You know, but I got y'all. I got it next
for real,
time,
Skylar.
for sure.
For real, Skylar.
Yeah, for real.
Skylar Diggins Smith, come to Indiana.
Yeah, unblock K-Dot too, man. K-Dot, how you get blocked by Skylar Diggins, Joe?
I don't know. I love her. I don't know.
We gotta fix this. We gotta fix
I
this,
have no
man. You know what I'm
idea.
saying? We gotta
I
fix
really
it.
don't know.
I got hit with a tub for asking a legit question. At least I didn't get blocked though. You know what I'm saying? So I could take that and stuff. But overall, hey, great episode, y'all. We have fun and stuff. But I got one thing I gotta tell y'all before we end this episode. Thank God for backups. This episode's not being recorded right now.
It's crazy because it usually says this episode is recording.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, but I thought it didn't say it because it had the YouTube live thing.
Yeah, it's on YouTube Live and stuff like that, but it is not being recorded right now. But I know how to get it off YouTube. Don't worry about it. You know, YouTube's MP3, baby. You already know what it is. I was thinking that's why I started doing this. I'm like, oh snap, this thing is not recording because it's not recording on my mixer right now. You totally forgot, but it's all good though. We still got a great episode in and stuff like that. I guess before we go, well, I guess you don't have nothing to complain about. Well, we could complain about the Commissioner's Cup, but that's a different episode, but we'll definitely talk about that. Hopefully waiting for this confirmation for our next episode because, you know, we got some guests in the pipeline and stuff. So just waiting for the confirmation. I'm waiting for the okay. I already got the show ready in the Zoom, ready to send. I'm going to send it anyway, actually, just because it would be a dope guest. But anything else before we go? Or yeah, we done? What's good? All right.
Good.
I'm good.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for listening to Keeping the 9450 Codename WBB. Don't forget to follow us at the 9450 on Twitter, the 9450 WBB on Instagram as well, and TikTok too. We're on there, and I ain't putting nothing on there, but we there. Don't forget to follow K-Dot Lou 3H, Lolo Bike in the building as usual. Don't forget to follow all of us on Twitter and everything like that. Hey, y'all been threading? What's good? The last time Blue Sky wasn't here, Threads wasn't here. Now we come back as a show. You know, social media is going crazy again. You know what I'm saying, with new things and stuff. Have y'all been threading?
A little bit.
You know,
everything is K.Lou 3H if you wanna, you know, follow on Threads, on Blue Sky, on Spill. So you know, the new platforms are new platforming as always.
I'm not going on Spill. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm not
any of those.
I'm not doing Spill. So, I'm letting you know right now.
Everything is trial and error so far. But I've taken a step back on Twitter just for a little bit, just to kind of focus and kind of maintain just WNBA women's basketball content. So
yeah,
a lot of the other stuff that you usually see on my timeline, you probably won't see. You'll probably literally just see everything WBB. So shout out to women's baskball. We need more conversations in women's basketball, and that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great weekend of WNBA All-Star. We didn't even talk about the All-Star festivities. Hold on, real quick. 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Because listen, like, not even skills challenge. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Like, that's okay, whatever. But that performance that Breanna UNESCO put on the 3-point shootout was insane. You know what I'm saying? She shot 92% in the final round. She made 20 in a row at one point. It's crazy because, like, you didn't realize she was making 20 in a row because she missed the first shot. So it kind of threw you off, you know? And then she just stepped into the starry shots, and then she just went crazy. And I seen, like, her and Steph Curry, you know, kind of talking about, linking up and doing the shooting contest. Maybe, I guess, I'm assuming that's going to be, you know, one of those things like Draymond Green and Kevin Hart at the All-Star weekend or whatever. I want to see it. But I got a question, though. How are they going to do this line? Because women's basketball 3-point line is 20 feet, 6 inches. Men's basketball 3-point line is 23 feet, 9 inches. So are they going to meet somewhere in the middle? You know what I'm saying? To actually, you know, make it happen, or what? I don't know. Or maybe one court they'll put the WNBA line and Steph Curry's at the NBA line on the other court, let them shoot. at the same time, I want to know how that's going to work. But what's your thoughts on Sabrina Ionescu?
She shot the ball well.
Shot the hell out the ball.
Shot the ball real well. Damn.
So I got to ask you a question. So, because I didn't see it till after, because I was on the road. So, did they have a first round, or they just went and like?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, I want to know how she shot in the first round because they ain't say nothing. I know she had 26 or something like that, but like, damn, she left Earth in that on that when you watched that last clip.
Yeah, she had crazy. 26 in the first round, and then Sammy came right behind her and had 28. And I think that's where the competitive, juices kind of fell into place from that standpoint. But she shot the ball well, ball real well.
I mean, I think it was just more importantly, I think it was just like a historical moment because that's the best in men or women's game. And I think that it generated more conversation about the WNBA All-Star game or just WNBA All-Star weekend in general. A lot of people that don't even watch the league were on my timeline talking about how incredible it was that she shot that well. So I think it was a great moment for the league, and they got to do something with this moment. They'll probably drop the ball, but hopefully they do something and try to capitalize on, what happened here, whether it's a commercial, something. They have to do something to capitalize on this moment.
Yeah, I agree.
The trophies got bigger.
The trophy did get bigger.
Kathy heard y'all.
Yeah. It's crazy. We didn't even really talk about All-Star. Damn, now you just brought up the All-Star game and stuff like, Sabrina, she started out really well with that. But then Jewel Lloyd, started doing her thing. And, BG too as well. If Jewel Lloyd didn't have the game that she had, BG was MVP. BG came out ready to rock. She had 4 dunks, and I'm kind of glad they didn't give her the award because I thought going in, I'm like, yeah, they might give her this award, man. You know what I'm saying? But so I was kind of glad, like, okay, Jewel Lloyd did what she did, breaking the record, doing her thing. But, to see BG out there, because think about it, K-Dot, last year, what were we talking about with the WNBA last year, K-Dot? We was talking about the dunk that Sylvia Fowles had, you know what I'm saying? And talking about how they represented BG with the jerseys and stuff. And then now we see BG back in the game. That's crazy, man. Salute to her. Salute to her.
It was just beautiful.
It was
beautiful to watch. And shout out to my bestie. She know who she is, Ashley Battle. Sitting with legends, Sylvia Fowles, Simone Augustus, Cheryl Swoops, Sue Bird. She's friends with all of them, by the way. Friends with all of them, by the way. Yeah. And that's my best friend. That's my best friend. Ashley Battle. Shout out to you.
And before we definitely got to go though. But before we go, I want to mention something because somebody brought up a tweet, right? We need to have like a tweet of the night segment or something like that, and then talk about it on a podcast or a tweet of the week or something. Because somebody brought up something with Paul George and like, is there any WNBA player as skilled as Paul George? We're seeing that, right? And I'm like, hold on. You put Simone Augustus, and I'm like, hold on. Chelsea Gray too. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to ball handling skills, step back, jump shots, we seen what Chelsea Gray can do. Now, I ain't talking about who's better than who, but I'm like, come on now. We got to give a lot of respect to these ladies. These offensive scorers is crazy. I think that 3 dribbles and in, that Chelsea Gray is the best in the league, hands down. I know everybody talk about Enrique and everything, but Enrique, she shoot less than 40% from the field, less than 30% from 3. You know what I'm saying? And 21 shots and 21 points, and she's getting away with murder right now. Nobody talks about that. But, with Chelsea Gray or what she do, and when she's in the zone, she can hit 16 straight on you. We've seen her go off last year. It was crazy. So I think that, one-on-one on the Allen, I think that Chelsea Gray is the one of the most skilled player in the W. And I think that, skill work will give a lot of these dudes a run for their money. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying one-on-one, stop it. I'm just saying as far as skill versus skill, pound for pound, skill versus skill, Chelsea Gray deserves her flowers and stuff like that, And also like Simone Augustus, like what you put up there, like Simone Augustus is another one. Young Diana Taurasi, another one that will hit that can get to the basket, get to the mid range, hit you from beyond the arc. you know, it's a lot of skill. It's a lot of skilled players in this league and stuff. And, you know, dudes got to stop playing, man, and stop being misogynistic and just appreciate it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's all I got to say. Let's just get on out of here and stuff. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages that we listed earlier. And y'all be safe. Love is love. Peace.